Barbados is adopting a Bridgetown Declaration moved at the 16th Ministerial Forum for Development in Latin America and the Caribbean. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs Kirk Humphrey says the declaration represents a unified stance on advancing social protection, equity, and resilience for people of the Caribbean and Latin America. He was addressing the closing ceremony of the forum held at the Wyndham, Barbados.
Barbados was able to say to the rest of the world what we're doing. The rest of the world was able to say to Barbados what they're doing, and we can build collectively on that. I suspect that we will translate a lot of these into meaningful changes into the lives of ordinary people. If it is that at the end of the day we come together and we just have a declaration, that is a beautifully written declaration, but it doesn't advance the lives of ordinary people, it doesn't move the needle for persons with disabilities, it doesn't move the needle on gender issues and so on, then we would not have achieved anything.
Minister Humphrey says the framework will improve the lives of ordinary people.
To build social protection, to have the world, because Latin America and the Caribbean is often spoken of together, but we don't often sit together and discuss these issues, Caribbean issues. So climate change, for example, affects us differently than it does Latin America. And so we were able to incorporate a lot of that into the document, and I think it's going to mean that the world has a better place, a better world, particularly for Barbados, particularly for the people of the Caribbean and the people who live here.
Government, the United Nations Development Program, and the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean hosted a forum which zeroed in on complex issues facing the region. And while 2 days of robust discussions have come to an end, Minister Humphrey says the island is proud to have hosted what is being touted as one of the biggest ministerial forums to be held in the world.
We recognize that in a climate vulnerable society like Barbados, the persons who are most affected by disasters always are these persons, the most vulnerable. And so for us to be able to come to a conference like this where we have over 22 ministers, I think 27 countries, 57 delegations, and to be able to agree across the region that we can work together progressively on these important issues is important.
Administrator of the United Nations Development Program, Akeem Steiner, is thanking participants for making Latin America and the Caribbean be more clearly heard on the world stage.
But also investing in that ability to maintain that regional perspective that I think, whether we are in the Eastern Caribbean, whether we are in the Latin American Caribbean region as a whole, can provide so many, I think, positive directions.
The forum will reassemble in Brazil next year. Anesta Henry, CBC News.